This story, it started before the storm.
NBC2 is tracking Hurricane Ian. The latest code still includes parts of Southwest.
They were saying like winds of a Category 1, so we were preparing for Category 1, and then we only had maybe a 12-hour notice that it was going to be a direct hit.
What started this morning as a maybe has now become a likely. Southwest Florida is going to feel this storm, Hurricane Ian, in a big way.
I've been in Florida my entire life, born and raised, and we use a phrase, luck favors the prepared.
Living in a manufactured
The first
home,
thoughts, once Hurricane Ian was on the map, was really about getting our team organized and starting to execute on our preparedness plan.
We were tracking the storm constantly and watching where the path was going to be. And this was important to us because we were trying to pre-stage equipment into the area.
My maintenance staff, we had many meetings because we had time to prepare the community and to prepare our residents.
The winds will continue to get stronger and stronger. We've timed out.
I mean, we prepared well for the wind. And we just, the storm surge, nobody expected it.
It was relentless, like nothing I'd ever experienced. It was a monster. I mean, it just sounded like a monster. The howling, the noises, the debris flying, windows were breaking out, tiles were flying off the roof, trees, power lines. I mean, it was just relentless. I didn't really get frightened until the second part of the storm came through, because we thought everything was going to be okay. And then the second storm showed up. It seemed like a second storm, and it just hit us harder.
I remember saying to my husband, after watching all the wind and everything, and I kind of died down, and I said, "Is that it?" And he said, "Turn your head." And I turned my head, and I heard and saw all the floodwaters. That's something I'll never forget, is the sound of the water just coming down my neighborhood.
Once it hit, we knew that coming back to the property, it was going to be bad. There was going to be lots of damage and maybe worse.
I never envisioned that water would do what it did.
There were vehicles all over, lines, boats blocking the road. We couldn't get through a lot of areas.
Houses completely moved off their foundations, some with no walls left. I mean, they were just rubble. I arrived the day after the hurricane, and there was still, knee-deep water in the front of Siesta Bay and in parts of Indian Creek, and there was large fish swimming down the street.
It was obvious that it was a high storm surge because there was vehicles just randomly that had floated, and we lost all of our equipment, all of our vehicles. So the only thing that we had for a vehicle was the truck that I was driving, my personal truck. That's what we used.
A lot of our team members lost their homes, so they were also dealing with the loss and trying to help the residents. That big saying is, we over me. Really, it just gives me chills thinking about how they all came together at that time.
It was pretty overwhelming after the storm. You had to just put your go face on again, and you're thinking about what you need to be doing and who's taking care of this and who's taking care of that.
Pretty much right now, it's whatever you can do to help. Everybody, you just step up and you find an area that needs to be filled, you fill it, and try to do it to the best of your ability.
We are all about teamwork, but I have never seen a team come together like this. It started at our ground level at each of our parks. We knew as soon as it was going to happen, we started donation drives, and guests at each park were just showering us with donations to bring to Fort Myers.
I have 2 properties that were local to my house. I immediately loaded up my car with supplies, not knowing what I was going into, my water boots, my jeans, my ball cap, and off I went.
We all had lists and we would check off this person's good, you know, because when you have 1,440 homes, it's like that's our family.
From Michigan, from the main office, we were able to mobilize construction crews to show up within 48 hours.
Although it was a very short notice and not knowing exactly how we were going to accomplish the ideas that were springing forth, we pressed forward. We were able to pull together a convoy consisting of 9 campers, 13 trucks, generators, tarps, blankets, sheets, pillows, bungee cords, healthcare products, and so much more.
We met in South Carolina where we went down in a convoy of 11 vehicles with thousands of pounds of aid, travel trailers, a shuttle vehicle.
When we got here and really truly understood the value and the impact that it was going to have on the people we were working to support, all the barriers came down. You know, it was nothing but hugs and tears and, you know, a real appreciation for the individuals that we work with on a day-to-day basis.
And we had a whole team of people down there helping set up, you know, emergency response centers, pulling generators out, getting tarps out and distributing them from our emergency supply trailers.
Our first few trips down there, it was more about sorting all of the donations that they were receiving from the many other properties within Sun, directing them to the local food banks and things like that.
We had so many employees that lived on property and they lost their entire homes, but Sun jumped in right away and housed them.
Well, we had to get some housing together really fast. Our park was pretty much emptied out because the hurricane was coming. So we had to get all of our VR units up and running, make sure we had all the supplies that they needed as well. I believe our park, we got 25, 26, something like that.
Sun means what they say when we talk about doing the right thing. There was a decision made, which I think was really phenomenal, to extend the Sun Strong program, which is a grant program, to our team members in need. And they received a grant within a matter of a few days. So it was really, really quick.
No matter what we needed, it was given. And we didn't speak about, well, how much is that going to cost? It was, we need to do what we need to do to take care of, you know, our people.
At one point, we had senior leadership from Michigan come down, and we're all haven't showered in a couple of days. We're tired. It's communities running on fumes. They walked up, smiles on their faces, hugging each and every one of us. What can I do for you specifically? But then they also took the time to get on a golf cart and go talk to residents throughout the community. And it meant a lot.
What John McLaren, who started, always preached about the unity and the golden rule and all that. I mean, they put it to work. We saw it firsthand.
The way that our team handled such a difficult, what could have been overwhelming situation was incredible. And it showed me that, like, this is just who we are. We take care of each other. We were ready, and we always put our people first.
I am very proud to be a team member of Sun. I mean, the outpouring of support that came in from the executive team, from the surrounding properties, from just everyone is overwhelming. And I've learned that I can still be strong and vulnerable, and I can accept help.
Many team members said, I think almost every team member I talked to actually, was a sense of community. I'm going through this, my neighbor's going through this, and we're supporting each other through this because we know what it feels like. Then I think it shows, like, among all this chaos, there is room for some light.
This story lands straight in the center of Together as One. No matter, you know, how many hours or miles away we might be, we're there.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Sun.
Thank you to all of our fellow team members for your continued support as we continue to push for a full recovery from Hurricane Ian. And don't worry, we're all warriors and will bounce back.
The rebuilding part of it is exciting to me. You know, we've seen 6 months of destruction and cleanup, and I'm really looking forward to the new chapter.
We have houses being delivered next month. We have electric pedestals on. We have concrete brickwork being done. You know, we forecasted a couple years, but I don't believe it's going to take that long.
There's a few moments in people's careers that, you know, you look back and say, wow, we really made a difference. And I think this is one of them. And that makes me proud to be part of Sun, that we do live by those culture statements. Even though it's been a hard road to get to where we're at today, we still have a long way to go. But I know because who we are, we'll get there together.